What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Exercise Index. Today we're going to be talking about the kettlebell overhead press. All right, so picking today's topic, I wanted to find something that most people are able to do. With the shutdown or lockdown or whatever we're in right now in place yet again, most people don't have the luxury of having a squat rack or a barbell in their house. So today's topic is going to be the kettlebell overhead press. Why it's in today's index is that it is functional, loadable, and weakness addressing, but it's extremely versatile, and I think everyone should be doing it or doing a variation of it. So most people do struggle with getting the overhead position with a dumbbell or a barbell especially. So instead of performing numerous mobility exercises and foam rolling or even asking Santa for that overhead position, you really need to just get in there. Unfortunately, most people aren't able to with a barbell or a dumbbell, and I find the kettlebell has numerous benefits with this overhead position. All right, so we're gonna start with my favorite variation of the kettlebell overhead press, which is the half kneeling kettlebell overhead press. The reason why I like it more than the traditional standing one is that we're in a half kneeling position. We have to make sure our rib cage is cued down and our pelvis is in a neutral position. Both these things can get out of whack when we're standing up with the kettlebell. Starting this movement in a half kneeling position, we're gonna grab that kettlebell and hook it into a front rack properly, right by the horns, okay? From this position, we're gonna think about keeping that relationship of the elbow and the wrist in a linear fashion, okay? The whole time I'm thinking about pressing vertically and rotating my elbow out to the side. At the end of the lift, I want my bicep right beside my ear, or as far as you can get there, working that overhead mobility. The big difference with this one and a dumbbell or a barbell, the weight is placed posteriorly to my hand, kind of encouraging us into that overhead position. Well, I'm not saying to grab a 45-pound kettlebell off the get-go and force an overhead position, but having a little bit more weight on the backside of our hand puts us in that position a bit more naturally. A lot of us can lose that relationship with our elbow and wrist position and have our elbow pushed out to the side when using a barbell or a dumbbell. So the second one is going to be a bottoms-up kettlebell press. This one's gained a lot of popularity over the last few years. Mainly used for stability, it does teach you how a press, especially an overhead press, should really feel. You should be thinking about screwing your shoulder into the socket and keeping everything tucked in and tight. So if you're stuck with a little bit of weight at home, this is one you should definitely check off your list. At the middle of the kettlebell handle, tuck your elbow under your wrist, press vertically up in the air, nice and slow, and lower it in the same fashion. If this isn't possible or your bell is a little bit too heavy, just grab closer to the horns and do the same press. Easily just work your way into the middle of that handle. With countless variations with the kettlebell overhead press, one of the hardest ones would be a half kneeling double kettlebell overhead press. Much harder than just standing, as you can utilize your glutes, core a little bit more efficiently. Putting yourself in that half kneeling position puts a lot more emphasis on the core, balance, and control. All right, so hopefully you guys got something from today's video. Remember that the kettlebell will encourage you in a better overhead position off the get-go. It does put a bit more emphasis on the muscles of your upper back and get you in that overhead position a lot easier than a dumbbell or barbell. All right, if you guys have any questions, hit me up. If not, I'll see you guys in the next one.